Hi, friends. My name is Kay Tyler, and I am a prevention specialist with the Safety Net program. This week, we are celebrating Red Ribbon Week, as we do every time this year. We usually have people come in and provide us with presentations or assemblies, or we get to wear crazy socks, or there's some kind of craziness happening in our hallways at our schools, all to support being drug free. Now, when people come in and give you speeches, they usually tell you things like, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad for you. But do they actually take the time to explain what it does to your body? All I ask of you today is to sit back, relax, and listen to a presentation about your mind. Your mind and how much it actually matters. So today's presentation is called Mind Matters, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. If I were standing in front of you in a classroom, I would pose the question of, what is the boss of your body? And usually when I do that, I get answers like, my heart, my parents. My siblings like to boss me around a lot, so sometimes I would gather they're the boss. Well, all of those are good answers, but it's not the correct answer. Your brain is the boss. It is tiny, but it is mighty. The brain is the most complex organ in the body. It is the center of all human activity. Well, what do you mean by that, Miss Kay? I mean, whether you're walking, you're talking, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're reading, you're writing, you're TikToking, you're Snapchatting, you're texting, you're playing, whatever it is that you're doing, your brain is in control of. Your brain is always working, even when you're sleeping. Information from your environment makes its way to the brain, which it receives, processes, and integrates it so that you can survive and function under all sorts of changing circumstances and learn from the experience. This information comes from both outside your body, like what your eyes see and your skin feels, and inside, like your heart rate and your body temperature. Picture this. There's always a time that we're a curious kid and fire is either on the stove or something's hot, and we take our hand and we put our hand on it and we immediately jerk our hand back because something doesn't feel so good. It's hot. So once we experience that, our brain allows us to experience that. It's more than likely that we won't do that again. So our brain helps us to learn from our experience. The brain has many different internal structures, one being the frontal lobe, which helps us with our reasoning, our behavior, and our memory. The parietal lobe helps us with our language, our reading, and it maintains parts of our intelligence as well. The temporal lobe helps us with our speech, our hearing, and our emotions. The occipital lobe helps us to be able to see things clearly, so it helps with our vision. The cerebellum keeps us balanced and coordinated. The brainstem regulates our heartbeat and our breathing. There's so many parts to the brain. The brain is often compared to an incredibly complex and intricate computer. Here's a fun brain fact, you guys. The human brain only weighs 3 pounds. The brain is a complex communications network of billions of neurons, neurotransmitters, and receptors. Networks of neurons pass messages back and forth thousands of times a minute within the brain, the spinal column, and the nerves. Different brain circuits are responsible for performing specific functions, such as sensing our environment, thinking and reasoning, language abilities, and movements, just like we talked about in a previous slide. Networks of neurons send signals back and forth to each other among the different parts of the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves of the rest of the body. Here's another fun brain fact. Faster than the fastest computer, your amazing brain controls every move you make. Your brain tells your muscles when and how to move. It lets you feel emotions, laugh, and cry. It allows you to learn new things and get out of the way of danger. Your brain keeps working even when you're asleep. It sends the signals that make your heart beat, your lungs draw in, and your eyelids to blink. So your brain controls everything that you do, from walking to talking to sleeping to eating to reading to writing to texting, to talking to screaming to yelling to running, and all the other ing stuff. How cool is that? We've learned a lot about the brain and how amazing it is. All that it does. How does it work? How do we send messages back and forth? What's important is that we take care of the one brain that we have, but there's also something that can ruin it. How will engaging in drug use affect my teenage brain? Have you ever walked down the street or you've been to a restaurant and you've seen someone that drinks? They walk funny. They talk funny. They might get a little upset because they've been drinking and their moods have been altered. So that means my neurons aren't sending correct messages to my brain and my body because I'm impaired. Drugs interfere with the way neurons send and receive and process signals through neurotransmitters. I said drugs, not alcohol. Alcohol is a drug. Drugs alter the development of the human teenage brain. That means if you drink at an early age, you're altering the development of your brain. What parts of the teenage brain are most affected by drug use? The basal ganglia. It's our reward circuit. It plays an important part in the role of positive forms of motivation, including the pleasurable effects of healthy activities like eating, socializing, or playing a game. The amygdala. It plays a role in stressful feelings like anxiety, irritability, unease, which characterize the withdrawal after a drug high. Prefrontal cortex. It powers the ability to think, plan, solve problems, and make decisions, and exert self-control. This is the last part of the brain to mature, making teens most vulnerable to the effects of drugs. Here's another fun brain fact, because that was some serious information we just learned. Amazing facts about your brain are: your brain physically stops growing around the age of 13, but it keeps changing forever, even as an adult. You can still get better at all kinds of skills, even when you get old. Do you know how powerful your brain is? It can produce enough electricity to power a light bulb. How amazing is that? By design, our brains are all about growth and change, as is the whole human body. Your brain makes about 2 million new red blood cells every second. Whoa! There are as many neurons in the brain as there are stars in the Milky Way. About 100 billion. Can you imagine all this going on inside of your head? This is pretty amazing, you guys. What do I stand to lose if I engage in drug use as an adolescent? My health. I have one brain. I have one body. Doctors can try to repair it and fix it, but it'll never go back to the way it was before I engaged in drugs. My education, that everybody keeps telling me is so important. I can't function in life without my education. I'll lose it because then I won't have a sense of caring. I really won't have a sense of myself, which will cause me to lose my self-control. I may be easy to anger. I may cry a lot. I may laugh uncontrollably. I may not be able to control my thoughts or my decisions. I may also lose my friends who love and care about me because they don't agree with my lifestyle or the changes I've made in my life. I may lose my family because when I engage in drug use, not only do I hurt myself, I hurt my family. I hurt my community. More importantly, my life. I only get one chance to live my teenage life. And so it's up to me to be able to use the infamous words of no and not engage in alcohol, tobacco, or any other drug use. How can I offset my curiosity about drugs? Talk. Talk to a parent or a counselor. Educate. Educate yourself. There's a lot of research out there that'll help you find answers. Choose. Choose your friends wisely. Engage in a meaningful hobby. Sports, art, singing, music. Just find your niche. Build your self-confidence by speaking positive affirmations over yourself. It works really good in a mirror. Sometimes you have to see yourself speak in order to feel it and believe it. And then learn. Learn to manage your stress. Oftentimes, when we don't know how to manage our stress, we engage in things that aren't quite good for us. So reread all of this all over again and pick one or two of these things to help offset your curiosity about drugs. What are positive affirmations? These are words of encouragement. They speak life into you. They help you see who you can become. I am smart. I am a beautiful human being. I am a winner. I am courageous. I love challenges. Say these to yourself a couple of times. And the more you say it, the more you start to believe it. And you can begin to build a better you. I personally want to take the time just to say thank you. Thank you for sitting and listening to this presentation. If we here at Child and Family Guidance Center can provide you with any more information on alcohol, tobacco, or other drugs, please follow us on Facebook at Child and Family Guidance Safety Net, and follow us on Instagram, safetynet.cfgc. We would love to hear from you.